Gregory Roberts found guilty of murder of 15-year-old Shanika Gray. Gregory Roberts has been found guilty of the 2017 murder of 15-year-old schoolgirl Shanika Gray. The verdict was handed down by a 7-member jury this afternoon in the St. James Circuit Court. Roberts is to be sentenced by High Court Justice Bertram Morrison on March 7. Gray, who was a grade 10 student of the Green Pond High School in St. James, was found dead in the community of Irwin Community multiple stab wounds on February 1, 2017, 3 days after she was last seen alive in Montego Bay, returning home from the funeral of a schoolmate. Roberts and another man, Mario Morrison, were subsequently arrested and charged in relation to Gray's murder. Morrison later pleaded guilty in September 2022 and was sentenced to a term of life imprisonment. Attempted jailbreak at Greater Portmore Police Station. There was a riot at the Greater Portmore Police Station in St. Catherine, widely known as 100 Man, earlier Wednesday, as several prisoners reportedly tried to escape. Some of the prisoners broke free from their cells and made it to another section of the station house before the attempted jailbreak was foiled, commanding officer for the St. Catherine South Division Superintendent Christopher Phillips disclosed on Wednesday. There are no reports of injuries, though there are claims that tear gas was used to help subdue prisoners. A number of cells were damaged during the incident, according to Phillips. Bars completely cut, he stated. The jailbreak was confirmed to 4 cells, which typically housed 9 or so people, he added. They managed to get themselves in the general area, but the team that was on patrol was alerted. The police had to take action to get them under control, he further stated. The incident is under investigation, and the prisoners involved could face criminal charges. Finance Minister tables second adjustment supplementary estimates in Parliament. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark tabled in the lower house on Tuesday 2 adjusted supplementary estimates, the third for public bodies and the fourth for central government. He explained that there is a reduction for the central government budget. This change involves the reallocation of resources. Dr. Clark added that over $3 billion is to be transferred to the public bodies. The estimates will next go before Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee for deliberation.
The 4 supplementary estimates provides for the reallocation of resources from currently identified activities to other activities. In particular, where it is clear that current allocations cannot be spent over the remaining 7 weeks for spending in this fiscal year, those allocations have been redirected. The 4 supplementary estimates is comprised of recurrent expenditure of $302.2 billion, up $2.1 billion from $300.2 billion. Compensation of employees essentially flat at $404.2 billion as compared with $404.5 billion. Interest payments of $172.7 billion, up $2.6 billion from $170.1 billion. And capital expenditure of $59.3 billion, down $7.4 billion from $66.6 billion. Amortization of $138.6 billion, up $0.3 billion from $138.3 billion, and below the line non-debt expenditure of $14.7 billion, which is unchanged from the prior level. The public bodies' third supplementary estimates indicate the transfer of an additional $3.2 billion in financial distributions to the consolidated fund, and the transfer of $2.3 billion from the central government to public bodies. Entities to receive funds from the central government are the National Water Commission, the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, the Transport Authority, the Jamaica Racing Commission, the Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Agency, the National Export-Import Bank of Jamaica, the Students' Loan Bureau, and the Public Accountancy Board.
$10 billion for major roadworks project. A total of $10 billion is to be allocated for Jamaica's 63 constituencies to carry out road improvement projects in the upcoming fiscal year, Prime Minister Under Holness has announced. This translates to each constituency being given a minimum of $150 million to undertake the works, which will be identified through a consultative process. The allocation forms part of the $40 billion shared property through accelerated improvement to our road networks park program announced by Holness and Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark in their budget debate presentations last year. Holness, who gave an update on the program in a statement to Parliament on Tuesday, explained that the Spark program which is designed to revitalize secondary and community roads across the island within the next 3 years, has been split into 2 segments to allow for a quick and efficient execution of some roads. So 20 billion would go to those main roads, and those which would come now from a kind of national assessment done by the National Works Agency NWA, but we have reserved 20 billion that will be used at direct for the communities and the MPs and councils coming together in this consultative process to deal with roads that are local and community roads that may not require the kind of infrastructure development, he said. The Prime Minister said that of the 20 billion set aside, approximately half of that will be divided equally per constituency. So 10 billion will be divided equally among the constituencies. That will result in approximately 150 million per constituency. The remaining 10 billion will be allocated to constituencies based on the mileage of road in each constituency relative to the total number of roads or total mileage of roads we are repairing, Holness stated. He said the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development and the NWA have been tasked with updating this register of roads in order to get an accurate total of the mileage of roads. This information, he said, will assist with the complete allocation for each constituency. Holness noted as well that the government will retain a certain percentage of the overall sum to deal with special cases that we probably didn't think of when we were making the general rule. The Prime Minister said that the crucial element of the Spark program involves a fair, transparent and accountable process for identifying and selecting the road projects to be implemented. As such, he noted that the Constituency Development Fund CDF has been instructed to facilitate the formal consultative process for this segment of the Spark program. MPs through the CDF will be asked to organize community consultation by Parish Council Division with the active involvement of the relevant government agencies to include the Social Development Commission, municipal corporations, NWA, NWC, the JCF, as well as churches, schools and businesses, he noted. Holness said these consultations, which he anticipates will conclude by the end of March 2024, aim to collect recommendations on the road to be repaired and their priority order. He said that the consultative process should culminate with a prioritized listing of the potential road projects organized by a constituency. This, he said, is to facilitate the streamlining of the project implementation process from conception to execution. It is important that this be done because the MPs' delay in responding and sending in their projects, it creates further delays throughout the process. This is not to say that it's only MPs that delay the process, but if MPs do contribute to delays, we want to take that delay out of the process. So by the end of March, all recommendations which would have gone through a process of consultation should be into the agency tasked with execution, that agency being the NWA, he noted. This will ensure that the other elements of the execution and the management of the program can be done in a timely fashion, so we can have matching of roads instead of road going one by one, so that way the program can work more efficiently, he added. The Prime Minister asked the cooperation of all MPs and the relevant state agencies in having these consultations done in a timely fashion, utilizing the resources of the CDF. Every Member of Parliament should have a CDF officer and a liaison officer assigned to the constituency. Please utilize those resources to assist in organizing the consultations, division by division, he noted. In the meantime, MP for the St. Andrew South Eastern, Julian Robinson, requested the time period given to complete the consultation process, arguing that with a local government election pending on the budding debate coming up, it would be difficult to complete the process before the end of March. So while I appreciate that you want and I want the project to start and to get going quickly, I'm just saying you may compromise the integrity of those consultations if you push people to get it done by March 31st, he said. Holness responded that the aim is to start implementation, roads being asphalted and repaired in the upcoming financial year. I understand your point, which is a time for the now to March may be considered too short, but bear in mind that in almost 60 days, 2 months, you have the entire February. You can use the preparation and the entire March that you can use for consultation. We want to keep a tight timeline on it so that we can go through the other processes so that we can actually start implementation, he noted. MP for St. Andrew Southwestern, Angela Bromberg, also questioned how efficiently the program will work. She said that even though the program sounded like a good initiative, I am at a double doubting Thomas as it relates to her constituency, with another 40 million road project the government is undertaking, which has not been a smooth implementation. Holness admitted that the process of implementing the $40 million project has been streamlined, as it was plagued by significant problems including staffing and resource issues and how timely the projects were submitted. The procurement process itself was quite cumbersome. We are trying to make sure that we correct those shortcomings in this project, he noted. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.